That's what I call good service.
Goodbye. Welcome to the paradise in the middle of the desert. As you can see, I just came up from that path. Or down from that path, I should say. Yes, after the long journey, as you saw from at the beginning of the introduction of this video, I traveled with the train and the planes and automobiles and buses and probably everything, including this here bicycle. And this is all I have left now, is this bicycle. I was not able to bring anything because it's been so complicated to try to get over here. This is literally a hole in the middle of the desert. A friend of mine was the one that discovered this hole many years ago. And he's been raving and talking about it. Ranting and raving. He's been raving about this hole, this paradise, since he discovered it. He is adventurer, archaeologist, discoverer, hunter, whatever, gatherer. He looks for things, looks for opportunities. And he's offered me on many different occasions opportunities. I have turned down every single one of them until now. Let's see. This started, I don't know, a few years ago, where he first came to me and he said, there is this great paradise inside the desert, an oasis, if you will, of trees and agricultural opportunity in a place no one has ever even thought about that it could possibly be in this desert location. And I did not believe him. And he continued to talk about it, rave about it, convinced me one time to show up, although we stood probably, I don't know, up there on one of those hills and looked over it, and I thought, well, okay, I see what you mean. I get this opportunity. And he continued to try and persuade me into opening up a homestead here. He's known for, since I've met him, that I wanted to open a homestead. I, as you saw, work in a city, in a big office building, in air-conditioned office up on the top floor there, where you do have a view and it's nice, but the air is non-filtered. It's not fresh like here. And I came here, took one look at this and said, okay, fine, let's take a look at this. And through a lot of bureaucracy and paperwork and trial and error and I finally was able to purchase 2 pieces of land here. The land here is really not that cheap. I'm not entirely sure where they are. I'm going to have to ask about that. But since he has discovered this, he's convinced other people to come here. The first one that came here is this store owner. And he came here with machines and material, cleared out this land here because he thought it was the best location, because the road isn't that far from the only access point to the oasis. This oasis here. I'm calling it an oasis. And so he set up shop here. And with time, there's a restaurant, I think was the second thing. I think that's the restaurant somewhere around here too, I'm not entirely sure. But there's also a sawmill and a few other type of companies. I'm not entirely sure what they do here, but they have a few different places that you can sell things and order things. You can go eat at the restaurant. and this store and the restaurant have built up. The next place was a logging company that came here, because the logging actually I think the logging company was second, because he needed to clear land here, and he had a friend that was a logger, and the logger came and set up shop here and to process the wood. And I'll be visiting this store and the sawmill frequently, I think, to set up shop. And probably the restaurant very frequently, because I'll need food. So anyway, my friend came to me and said, do I want to be the first homestead here? And he convinced me to do it, and so I bought the 2 pieces of land. I'm not quite sure where they are now. I only have a vague idea. I've never seen them, which is kind of one of those things. Why did you buy a piece of land? I've seen it on the map, but other than that, I really don't know the approximate location on the map, the approximate borders. What I'm going to have to do is set up, I think, maybe fences around exactly where my property is, so I know this is where it starts, this is where it stops, or a gate or something at the beginning of my property. And house, and yeah, there's all kinds of stuff to do. And so my idea is to chop down all of the trees that I'm going to use to build my buildings. And the other wood that I don't need, I will use as firewood, wood chips for the animals or what have you. There's wood chips that can be used for everything. And then I'll sell off the wood chips either to the logging company or wherever they're sold. And they can use it for firewood or whatever. And then what I plan on doing is making arable field, or some arable field, some pastures for animals, some perhaps forest, greenhouses I want to plant, and I want to build up a nice homestead. And what I'm going to do is, in addition to my type of work or the work that I want to do, I'm going to be building up and helping other farmers start their journey in homesteading if they need help. And so that's my plan. First though, I want to go to this store and buy a what are they called, Polaris or Can-Am or whatever they're called, a quad. And I am not going to be riding that bicycle everywhere, definitely not. I'm going to keep the bicycle, but I'm not going to run with it every day. And I think the quad is going to be the best thing to do. So let me go to the store and try to get a kind of a feel of where my property exactly is, and then we'll take the quad over there, and then I'll look at it, maybe scout out a location for a house, kind of see what is around here, and take it from there. So, after having a long conversation with the store owner, I have an idea of where things are. The sawmill is over in that direction, and they have a few machines and a setup, which of course they've had to kind of get going to build up all these other, and there are stores and things dotted around here. There's even a BGA up here, which I didn't know about. And so I'll be definitely visiting the BGA. And like I said, the restaurant is over there, and my property is over in that direction somewhere. And here is the Polaris, or the quad, whatever it's called. And so we'll head off. I'll leave my bicycle there and pick it up at some point in time. And so the best thing to do is take this road over here, from what I can tell, or from what I understand. And I should be able to very simply and easily get to my location. There's only one road on this land, and it goes on the perimeter of the lake in the middle. And besides that, I don't really know what's going on. Because this is beautiful here. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. Hey, did you see that? I don't know if you saw that, but over there, just behind the trees on the ridge, there's an animal. That's one thing I want to definitely try to figure out. Is about the hunting. I mean, this place has got to be fantastic hunting around here. Imagine the animals that you can get. And it's another thing which I was kind of thinking about. If I can hunt the animals and sell the meat off to the restaurant. Because there are plenty of people living around here and on the outside of this oasis. And as you saw on the drive over here, I'm not too far away from other locations. And so that hunting could bring me in a bit of meat, and maybe even I could sell off the fur and such for money to help me also keep going with this homestead. So, a little bit about me, for all of those who don't know. I am a Swiss. I was born and raised in America, but I have been living in Switzerland for a very long time. Now I have come back to a secret place in America. Actually, it's in, I suppose you could say, Desert. Here's the restaurant, by the way. Death Valley. And the dunes of America. And the odd thing is even with satellite coverage, there's got to be some kind of, I don't know, something. Well, I think, by the way, I am now in my own land. Starting somewhere around here. Which means I have to turn right at some point in time. Let's just say, by this tree, turn right. I don't know. I have to make a road. But, you know, I came back and now I am living here in the desert, this oasis, trying to make my land. But in Switzerland, I used to be a truck driver. And so, and all over Europe actually. And that is another thing I could possibly do. Every once in a while, take a break from this farming and go and do a bit of truck driving again for my old company. Or maybe even start up a new company, have them, you know, run, do some runs while I'm over here, and I'll have an enterprise of companies going on. This is all a part of my land, and I'm not really sure where I'm going, but this is a beautiful area. I keep seeing animals. I don't know if you see those, but they're a bit shy from my quad here. My quad is making all kinds of noises. But this is fantastic land to chop down the trees, forestry, plow out, and yeah, make a living. I mean, this is massive. I have an incredible opportunity. So sorry about that. I had a phone call real quick from my friend. He wanted to ask me a question about how my land works. My friend, by the way, is called Calvin. And my name, for all of those who do not know, is I'm called Hobbes. I am named Hobbes. Boy, I cannot talk anymore. No, my name is Hobbes. And Calvin and I have been friends together for a long time. So yeah, he was just checking up to see how I like this area, which is absolutely beautiful. But when I was talking on the phone, I saw a rabbit go by. So there's rabbits around. I saw definitely deer. Probably are bears. I'm not really sure. We'll see. Wow. Wow. I mean, wow. No, really. Listen to this. That's one thing which I want to explain. This is my very first YouTube video ever. And I do not have any kind of proper equipment, video, photography equipment. And so the scenery that you see here does not justify, or the scenery that you see in the camera doesn't justify what you see here, what you see in real life. As soon as I get my camera, which I ordered weeks ago, it's a professional camera. It takes beautiful photos and videos. As soon as I get that video, you're going to have to be living with bad quality video for the moment. So sadly, the camera does not do any justification to the scenery. And there is a ziggurat, I think it is, or a pyramid in the middle of the water. There's probably fishing there too. In fact, I gotta try that to see if there's fishing, hunting. I was talking about my truck driving experience in Europe, which I will probably do. You know, every once in a while I'll fly back over there to Europe and see how my company's doing, maybe run a few truck driving runs. That kind of thing. Wow, this is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. One day, whenever my camera gets here and I get it all set up, for now you're just going to have to live with this bad quality sound, bad quality video, my inexperience with taking photography, until I get YouTube up and running. Beautiful. You know what? I think I'm going to put my house right here. To do that, I'm going to have to chop down a whole bunch of trees. I'm going to have to make a road, probably the way I came up. This way. Have some land over here, animals. This is an exciting opportunity. I tell you. Absolutely beautiful. Oh. So yeah, to build my house, I'm going to take down these trees, cut them down, the number of trees that I need, sell them at the sawmill so that way they can chop wood from it, and I'll get the lumber, set up the trees here. I'm going to use everything I possibly can from the nature. Down here in the river, the rivers that you see there are rocks and stones which I can use for the foundation. Evidently they're really good for that type of thing. So I'm going to make a stone foundation and then use the wood and dirt and all the other material around here. There's plenty of dirt. As you can see, I am absolutely in the middle of the desert, sand dunes. And I'll use everything I can to set up the house and all the buildings that I have. Any other supplies that I need, I'm going to use I'm going to buy from the store. So I'm going to have to head back to the store because I need to go get some machines. Oh, there is one tool that I do have. That's a chainsaw. It's the only tool I have. And spray paint. So I can drive this thing hopefully in the correct direction. I'm going to time lapse the end until this store. So as you can see, I made it back, fortunately. I was thinking on the way back about what I needed to talk to the store about. I needed to talk to the store about hunting, if I can, what kind of rifles they have, and what kind of hunting there is. I need to get logging machines, transport, and I need to get a road up there, barriers. There's so much I need to do. I need to get a dump truck and packer, or some kind of thing to pick up the stones, and so that way I can make the foundation of the house. And there's so many things that I need to pick up and do, and questions to answer, questions that I need to ask to get answers from, and. So I'm going to stop the video now because that's going to take me quite some time to get those questions answered and material ordered and what have you, and then I'll review, or I'll start the camera up again when everything is done, and then I can tell you what I have learned. So basically I wasn't going to continue with this log. I was going to end it at the last one. I was sitting on the quad there, but I decided a few things. First, I was talking to the store, Jack, and he told me about this camera. You know, my mom always said that I wasn't the fastest around. You know, somewhere in between starting my travels, I had a full screen video on there. Somehow something got misadjusted, and when I recorded everything, something got screwed up somewhere, and the screen became really small, and I only noticed that when I was on the computer downloading and looking at the things. It is later now. It's somewhere around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I was talking with him for quite some time and ordered all of my equipment that you see here, and I went over to the restaurant to get some lunch, and while I was eating lunch, everything was brought out and prepared for me to pick it up. And I noticed this with the camera, and I came back to him. When I got back here, I talked to the Jack, and he adjusted it for me. So now I have a full screen again, as you can see with the videos. At least it should be. I will find this out in editing later. We'll see about that. But I decided to go over with you everything that I talked about this Jack with. He told me, I asked him about hunting. That's really important for me. I can at the store get rifles, and there are all kinds of animals here that you can hunt for. Among deer and rabbits, there are ducks, elks, moose, bear, and coyote. I didn't know there were coyote around here, but there are coyote. They like to stay around the water and hunt the small animals that are around the jackrabbits that are here. And so I think that's very important. So I'm definitely going to be doing some hunting. And he said it is possible to do some fishing. I have to get a fishing license at this store, and I can get whatever equipment I need for the store. And if there is no bait at the store, I can get bait at the restaurant. And then I can go fishing here also. So that's perfectly fine. And so there is an incredible amount to do here. There's fishing and hunting, logging. If I can find some kind of machine, I can do some renovation, building, agriculture, animals, you name it. They have everything here. This here, I also asked him about that, is a pig food silo. And I can come here. This is filled up every once in a while for pig food. Right now, it's empty because there are no pigs around. But as soon as somebody has pigs, they're going to start filling it up to sell the pig food. And if I have created pig food, I can go and bring it over. Actually, there's a different shop to unload it, because what they have to do is let it sit, or I don't know what they have to do with it, quality control or something, and then they bring it back over here. But the other one, where to deliver, is over there. I can deliver the pig food that I make over there, and I can buy pig food here whenever I get pigs, or whoever gets pigs. Here is the gas station. I've got AdBlue here, or DEF, and of course regular gas. The machines I have here, there is so much to discover around here. It's incredible. As you can see, the night is getting a little darker. It's late afternoon. These machines will stay here. I have now lodging at the restaurant there. They have a couple of rooms up there where I can stay until I get my house built, or until I get some kind of accommodation, an apartment, a mobile home, or something. But I'll stay at the restaurant for now. As for machines that I got, which is something that I wanted to say real quick, I have this Kenworth here, W900, for transporting the logs. So it's going to be slightly complicated. This is going to be taking the logs from the road, because this cannot go into the woods. This truck, there is no way that this thing can do that. It is way too rocky and hilly and plants everywhere, and so this one's going to stay on the road and load up all of the logs that I put in a temporary storage. I have ordered the temporary storage, the material, so it will come within a week or two, I think, and then I can build the temporary storage. And there is the claw that goes attached to this truck. There are actually several attachments that you can get with this truck, evidently. I have a Ponzi Buffalo Dual. This comes in many different forms, but the one I got is the most universal, and where I can attach these different things on it and have whichever, I can use it. It's simply a thing of money. I'm one person, and I don't have that much money for the moment. When I start selling things and building things up and such like that, then that's looking a little bit different. But for now, I have this Buffalo here, and all of the attachments. I have the hook, or the claw, which gets attached to that, and this has two different attachments, the claw and the processor, which is down over there. And so first, with the claw, I'll hook everything up and attach it so that way I can transport this in one package to its position. And here's the front part with the cage in the front so the wood doesn't go through the window. That would be very nice if it doesn't do that. You know, I want to live to see tomorrow. And here's the back attachment. And what I can do also is remove this back attachment and put this clamp on there, I believe, somehow. And so then I can put this, if I need to drag wood away, then I can use the claw to clamp some wood in there and then drag it down into a more convenient position if I chop it down with a chainsaw, which would be right here. And my paint, which I have for creating the street, preserving, and I think that's for chopping down. I think this is the area, the entryway kind of thing, and that's for creating a road. And this is the processor, which I'll probably get the store to help me put it onto this thing. As for material around here, this is the little shed. It's owned by the store, Jack. And he has these machines which anybody can use. This what is it called? Telehandler? It's actually a really nice one. Claw Scorpion 1033. And this one has evidently the longest grab, longest boom of all of the telehandlers that you can buy here. And this is evidently brand new. He used to have a really old one, a JCB, and he replaced this with the Kloss. And all these attachments, for bales, and the other attachments are up here. If you want to, that's good, walk into the machine, damage yourself before you even make a house. All the other attachments are up here, which I could use, which I need, if I need a bucket, or I don't know what that is back there. Oh, that's for headers, a fork, another bale, like if I need individual bales. And I can use any of this equipment if I get stuck somewhere and can't get out, then I can call up the store and then they can come by with whatever equipment they need. If they need a telehandler, this is basically the rescue repair truck. There is a boom on here. It can pull you out of whatever trouble you get into, which will probably happen to me. And there are all kinds of tools and such in here if you needed to repair your vehicle. And you can also tow whatever necessary, trailers and such. Like if I come down here with the Can-Am, but I need to pull a trailer up where the Can-Am cannot take it, the quad, I think it's a Can-Am, I don't know. And then the semi-truck. The semi-truck is only here. This is a Freightliner Coronado. The only people who have a CDL can take this truck. If somebody does not have a CDL, then the store owner will drive for them. This is a newer version of the Freightliner Coronado. I think that's a Coronado or Colorado. I know that's a Coronado. That might be the newer version. But since I have a CDL, and since I've been driving trucks for years and years, it's not a problem. The length is slightly different from what I'm used to, but around here, that's not going to be really much of a problem. So, basically, ending this video, I'm going to drive the Can-Am. Can-Am. Why do I keep saying Can-Am? Maybe it is a Can-Am. I'm going to take the quad and go, yeah, it is a Can-Am. What do you know? I'm going to take the Can-Am, go up to the restaurant, and turn in for the evening. So tomorrow, or rather I should say the next video I do, I will drive down here and take all of this material up and start chopping down trees and clearing land and such for the house, because what I'm going to do, the very first thing I need to do is to make a house. And so I will leave the video here and leave the video here. Wishing you all a good evening. I'm going to turn in a little early. It's been a really long day. Please like these videos. Please teach me how to speak. And give a thumb up. Give a thumbs up. I cannot talk. I swear I can't anymore. I need a rest. Anyway, give a thumbs up, share the video, pass on to your friends, mention my name, CH Farmer Hobbes. That's the name of my channel. Because I am from Switzerland, my name is Hobbes, and I am now a farmer. So, logical, right? The hotel said I can park back here. There's the entryway. And now I will sign off. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.